tuning in to my channel. This is Studio SG. I am your girl Susan, and listen, I need you guys to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and follow me on YouTube as well as on Facebook. On Facebook I am at Studio SG Designs. Okay, so you'll want to go ahead and look me up there as well, because I have a lot of nice posts and pictures and things like that that you may want to just kind of look into. So last week we did an amazing well, last week was my daughter's birthday. Well, actually, it was a couple of weeks ago, my daughter's birthday, and I did a really nice backdrop design. Oh gosh, there are bugs. I did a really nice backdrop design, and it turned out really well, and I didn't know how well it turned out until people really started commenting on it when I posted it on my Facebook page. So, needless to say, I want to go ahead and recreate that, but in the black and white version, in my house in a couple of minutes, and I also want to throw another garland up for you and hopefully add a few different pieces to it. So like this time I would like to add that bubble balloon, and then maybe a couple of foil balloons as well that, you know, are just kind of nice looking. So it's going to be a whole black and white type theme. I've never done all black and white before, so that ought to be really interesting. But anyway, follow me inside. I'm getting ready to put this together, and I hope you like it. Again, this is a video not so much about creating the garland. It's really all about just getting that square balloon backdrop information to you, all the tips and all the tricks. So you may not see me do a whole lot with the garland, but you will definitely see step-by-step instructions on that square balloon wall. All right, thank y'all so much, and thank you again for tuning in to Studio SG. All right, everyone, as promised, I am making a video of that square balloon wall. So we're doing a black and white theme this time around. I guess you guys must have seen that pink one online that I did for my daughter's birthday, and so that triggered me to do this instructional video based on all of the feedback that I got and all the questions that I got. I figured, hey, let me answer everything in a video, okay? So first off, we're starting off with our, and I think I showed you guys the actual packaging in Hobby Lobby, so you've seen that. This is what it looks like when you take the balloons out of the package. They're just, you know, square, and they have tabs on all four corners, okay? All four corners. But I do want to show you that on one of the corners, there is a much fatter or wider or thicker tab, okay, than the other three corners. So if you see that, you see this? Here's your thick or fat tab is what I call it. And then here's your skinny, thinner tab, all right? So we've got three skinny, thin tabs and one fat one. The fat one is actually where the air is being funneled through, but I do want to show you how this works. So this is a pack of 30. Again, I got it from Hobby Lobby. I believe it was either $4.99 or $5.99 for a 30 count pack. Comes in pink and comes in black and white, all right? Unfortunately, I think those are the only colors that they actually come in that Hobby Lobby carries, but there are a myriad of colors that you can find online at Amazon and different places like Temu included. On this fat tab, you will see an opening, a circle, a foiled circle right here, and there is a very thin plastic layer that will allow you to slip this little straw, which comes in the pack, okay, in between the foil and this little circle. So let me just see if I can show you what that looks like. What I do is I put my straw flat down on top of the white circle, and I just gently move it forward because I know that that thin film of plastic is right there. So I see it lifting that thin film of plastic. I'm gonna just take my straw and gently insert it in, and I'm telling you, do this gently, because y'all, if you do it roughly, or if you add too much pressure to it, you will tear the foil, and then the whole balloon is just ruined. You can't get air in there, and then the whole party's done because now it messes up the count on your backdrop. So I'm just going to watch me. I'm taking my straw and I'm twisting it very slowly and gently in between the foil layer. I'm just twisting. I'm twisting. And now it's actually, you can see it. You can literally see it making a bulge inside the balloon, right? So I'm twisting until I have about 2 inches of straw left outside, and then I'm going to take, and you can see it, see? This is the spine right here of the straw inside the balloon. Once you do it like that, you're straight. Your balloon is good. All right, I'm gonna walk back and I'm gonna put some air in this, and then I'm gonna show you how to inflate this. So these are the tips and tricks. If you do these things and you follow these tips and tricks that I'm giving you, you will be able to successfully blow up a wall like this without ruining anything, and you'll be able to assemble it too. So you're about to hear some godforsaken noise. And that noise is actually good because it lets you know you're doing this right. So with your 2 inches or 2.5 inches sticking out of this foil balloon, you're going to, number one, get your balloon pump. You're going to attach both of these nozzles onto the top, excuse me, onto the tops of the larger, wider opening nozzle. You're going to want to put these on, all right? And you're putting this one on the trigger nozzle because that's the one that you're going to be using to inflate this balloon. You're going to put the other one on the opposite side because you want to control the flow of air coming out of here. Too much air, it's a lot of noise, okay? And you also want to be able to hold on to this balloon and keep the straw in place at the same time. So we're going to control the airflow coming out of here and here. This is it's just magic. It's made for this straw, honestly, this nozzle is. So you take it and you put the whole 2 inches into the nozzle, flat down. I hope y'all can see that, all right? There's like no room between that nozzle and the straw. And you're going to put your finger over the place where the nozzle and the straw meet. You're going to, with your other hand, pick up the balloon, and on the trigger side, you are going to begin, just forcing air into this thing. But listen to me, you have to hold this balloon up, and when you hear the noise, it sounds like none other. But that's the best way to do it because it lets you know you're actually inflating this right. If you don't pick up the balloon, it will sit there and do this. No inflation whatsoever. But when you pick up the balloon, it allows air to flow straight up. So just keep your finger over the place where the nozzle and the straw meet. That's it. You see that? So now your finger is still over the place where the nozzle and the straw met. You're going to pull your straw out, and then you're going to hold your finger over that tab, and you're going to just kind of smooth it out. You're going to seal it. You're going to make sure that no air can get out of this balloon, okay? Just a couple of, smoothing motions like that, and you're good. And this balloon is taut. I mean, it is thick. It's thick. It is fat. It is fully inflated. Nothing else can fit in here, all right? And then you just knock it to the side because you've got 29 more of those to go. All right, so I'm going to show you one more time. And then I want you to be able to do this on your own. I've got 5 balloons that I'm inflating on this video for you. I've already pre-inflated the rest of them. So let's just take a look one more time. All right. You've got the fat tab, and then there are 3 skinny tabs. All right. You're going to want to take your straw that came with the kit and just sit it right on top of the round circular area right here. And you're just going to push it forward until you see that thin layer of plastic raising up. So once you see that, okay, it means that you can now begin inserting your straw. But there's a way to do that. You're not just going to shove it in. You're going to take your straw and just sort of rotate it, turn it, twist it, okay, so that you can gently separate the layer of foil that it's going into. Because if you shove it in and force it in, I've got a few examples actually to show you of ruined balloons that I've had some people working on for me, and they didn't know the technique, and it just completely killed the balloon. I figured it would be a teachable moment, so I saved those. But you're going to put your straw in until you have about 2 inches of it left sticking out, and once you see it that it's correctly inserted, you're just going to go ahead and inflate your balloon. So using the trigger side, you're going to insert your straw directly in all the way down. You're not forcing it down, you're just sliding it in. Then you're going to take your thumb and just put it over that area between where the trigger nozzle is and the bottom of the straw. And then you're going to lift up your balloon, because if you don't, it will not inflate. And you're going to push down, and you're going to hear the most godforsaken noise, but that noise is telling you you're doing it right. Pull it out, pull the straw out, press down over that sealed area just to make sure it's completely sealed. Get it out your way because you've got 28 more to go. Well, for me, I have 3 more to go, so y'all just watch me work. All right, guys, I am back with our little killer whale looking balloons. The black side here, the white side here, and when you look at it at the side, it kind of looks like that, right? Anyway, fully inflated, 30 of them. We're ready to put them together. As you can see, I have already started assembling this wall right here, but I left 2 of the 6 rows for you to see. So we are doing a 30-pack inflation here, which will give us a 5x6 wall. That's the wall I'm constructing, okay? So it's 5 feet across, 6 feet in length, 5 feet in width, 6 feet in length, all right? So I've already started the pattern of black, white, black, white. So we're going to start with black for this next row. I'm going to show you 2 rows, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start putting it together. All right, so first thing we want to do, because this is another tip, you've got to get this or it's really just not going to work well. So I told you about the 1 fat strip and the additional 3 skinny strips. This is important when it comes to tying this together. So there's several ways to assemble this wall. I've seen people do it to where they literally cut off all the strips, or they glue all the strips down, and then they glue the balloons together. So they'll use like a glue strip and put a whole glue strip down here and attach it to another balloon and just seal it off like that with the glue strips. So that's one way. Not my favorite way, only because of the fact that if you're dealing with a color scheme that's different from black and white, that glue strip, which is white, will show if you don't perfectly align these balloons. Like, they have to be totally aligned so that you don't see the white glue strip in between. That's my only issue with it. And then all of the taping off of the little straggly, I'm not doing that. This just needs to be a very quick work. So for the interest of this video, and for honestly the perfecting of the strategy that I've come up with, the technique I've come up with, tying it off works brilliantly. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with black, because as you can see, we've got black, white, black, white. So we're going to start with black because that's our next row. And we're going to take the fat strip and we're going to tie it to a skinny strip, because 2 fat strips tied together is too bulky and it will stick out and it's hard to control when you are trying to actually put the wall together. So you need to put a fat tab and a skinny tab together, right? So make sure that the opposite sides, if you're going for that checkered look, you want to make sure that you've got your opposite sides facing out. If you want an all black wall, if you want an all white wall, I mean, that's how it goes, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna start putting this together. Fat and skinny, tying them together. Now, normally, I do this on the floor because it's just easier, but I wanna show you guys just up close. You gotta get this knot tight, all right? You gotta get it tight, but don't pull it too tight to where you pop the tabs off. All right, but you want to get it tight because you need to make sure that the openings between the balloons are practically seamless, okay? I've got 2 skinny strips down here. I'm going to go ahead and tie those together. It's a simple knot, but it needs to be a nice snug knot, okay? So that you have an intersection like this that's relatively tight, okay? We're just going to keep going. I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to get my black side next to my white side because I'm doing that checkered pattern. I found my fat strip and I've got my skinny strip, and I'm just going to tie them together. You see that my pattern's coming together. All right, so we're just tying. Ooh, it's hot. All right, we're tying everything together here. I'm going to do more floor work now. So I'm grabbing my white, because that's the next in the color scheme, and I'm just going to tie. Right? And let me tell you something. This, when you get to the point where you're doing this so often that you become really adept at it, you'll see that you can actually blow up or inflate all of these balloons in no more than 20 minutes. Less than a minute per balloon. All right? Black again, I'm looking for my fat tab. I'm pairing it with my white skinny tab, and I'm tying it off. Nice and snug, because I don't want gaps in between my balloons. So those seams need to be seamless. Okay, now that I have 5 in a row, I'm going to go ahead and attach it because I am the kind of person that I need instant gratification. So I need to see it happening and the wall coming to fruition before I even start my next row. So what I do is I'm going to go over here, and you're going to see all my mess for just a second. But So I've got all my balloons laid out here because this is where I do most of my mock-ups. But no, this is where I do all my mock-ups. But I'm over here. Let's get this out the way. And I am now connecting row number 5 to row number 4, simply by grabbing the end and tying it. But here's the trick that you need to learn. When you start tying these inside tabs, there is a trick that you have to use in order to get, number one, your balloons to tie tightly so that, again, it's seamless this way and seamless this way. Every row needs to be seamless. You're going to grab the longest tabs, okay? You're going to grab the longest ones because there are some short ones. But you're going to grab the longest ones, the 2 longest ones, and you're going to tie them together. You're going to pull them as tight as you can without popping them off. So here we go. We're tying row 5 to row 4. There are 4 tabs that need to come together. We're going to find 2 of those 4 tabs, 2 of the longest ones, tie them together because they're going to give you the most leverage. They're going to give you a pull that will be able to give you the most snug fit by tying the 2 longest ones together. Then you're going to find all 4 of those tabs. Okay, you're going to search for them because they're tucked in on the other side. You're going to find all 4 of those tabs. So look, I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to put 2 tabs in each hand, and I'm going to tie those 4 tabs together. Since this tutorial is more about how to assemble this wall, there is an accompanying garland that I'm going to do in all black and white. But I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to put on this video. You know, I'll probably just show you the finished product. That's exactly what I will do. I will show you the finished product. I have already pre-assembled balloons, did all my dupes, put them into clusters of 6 and 8. All right, everyone. So I'm back. I have blown up all the balloons in the kit. White and black are the only balloons that came with that kit. And there are also these marble looking balloons. They're very pretty. I like them. And then there's some foil balloons as well. I did not blow those up as yet. So I'll do that separately. But I wanted to show you guys how to just connect the square balloon wall to your either your pipe and drape stand, or in this case, your tripod stand. And like I said, I'm using the tripod because it really helps to bring stability with those 3 legs on each side. All right, so I'm using my 260 balloons, all right, and I'm stretching them out to give them ample stretch. Not that I need to do it for this particular use, but I am doing it because that's just what I'm accustomed to do. Let me do it this way. Let me grab the wall and then tie the 260 to it. All right, so there we go. Remember, this is the back, okay? Because it's got all the little knots. You see all the little ties and whatnot coming through the back here? That's the back. So what I did was I left my tripod stand low so I can access it better from this level, and then I'll raise it up. Remember, it's going to be at least a good 8 feet in the air, okay? So we've got these little tabs sticking out here, but we don't care about that right now. All right, that looks about right. So I'm going to pretty much have it sort of kiss up against this side, a little less gap here. I'm going to stick my hand through the first crevice, okay, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to take my 260 and thread it in between, all right? And then I'm going to pull it up under the pole and just tie it to the pole. I'm going to thread it through again, bring it up, tie it to the pole. And that just gives it added stability. I'm going to do that like 3 or 4 times. Okay? So that's one. Just make sure. All right, that's one. I'll do it again. All right, so we're going through that next opening. We're bringing it up. We're going to tie. We're going to go through the opening again. We're going to bring it up. We're going to tie. Knot it twice. We're done. Just keep doing that till you get to the end. The wall is tied to the crossbar on the top. Then now we just want to be able to secure it to that side. This side is pretty much going to float because the garland will be on that side. All right, so I've got some more 260s here because I want to definitely connect it to this side. I'm not going to pull it too tight because I don't want it to pull the balloon off, pull the whole wall off center and have it tilted this way. It'll just be weird. So just, you know, tie it so that it's tied to the pole. Okay? Do that maybe once or twice more, and then that's it. So right now, actually, I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to pick this wall up so I can actually finish tying it to the crossbar on this side. So we're going to pull it up until the bottom of the balloon is sort of just hovering over the floor. All right, remember this is, all right, I don't want it that high, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit more. Let me see. I think that ought to do it. Let me fix this side. This is the front, and what you won't see are a bunch of tabs sticking out everywhere, but I see that there are a couple here. So these are the wayward ones. I'm going to make sure they get to the back. Just stick them back there. You know, so I'm glad that we tied it off the way that we did with all that double knotting in the back, because otherwise we would literally have to go through this whole front piece, and at every intersection we would have to be tucking them back, tucking them back, tucking them back. Ridiculous. All right, so we've got our wall right where we want it. And one of the things that I forgot to do was on that On the previous ones that I've done, I actually taped off the tabs on the end. So let me do that. So just regular Scotch tape is really all you need, honestly. Maybe about a 3-inch piece, 4-inch piece. And I actually had taken this tab, wrapped it around, and just taped it to the crossbar. You have to make sure you do that well. So I would actually go around with an additional piece of tape. Four or 5 inches on this one. And again, I would just tape it, just wrapping it around. So I just wanted you to note that it's touching the ground, okay? And that's how you want it. You don't want a gap. You don't want to see anything underneath there. So this looks good. When it's all said and done, you'll just tuck these back. These little tabs that are sticking out, you'll just tuck them back. Okay, I can show you that right now. What I found helpful is that if you have those stragglers, you take a piece of Scotch tape. You take a piece of Scotch tape. This is a delivery guy outside our door. Scared us half to death. But you take a little piece of Scotch tape and you can just take those to the back of the balloon and they'll stay and you'll be good. All right, so this is looking great. So the only other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a couple of spring clamps to the top so that I can adhere the garland. Okay, and then I'm going to add a few 260s here on this side too with some spring clamps so that I can, again, connect the garland. And that, I think, is the next time you will see me come back on camera just to show you the finished product, because this is really just a more of a how-to with regard to getting this square balloon wall up. The garland will be another tutorial. All right, so I will see you when all this is done. All right, everyone, as promised, I'm back with the full display. All right, you've got your garland all tricked out and party shined out and everything else, and then you've got the balloon backdrop, the square backdrop in a checkered pattern. So I'm hoping that you love this. I threw on a Let's Party sign, and I also added a sequin curtain on the side just to kind of finish everything off and to also hide that pole from the tripod stand that everything is mounted on. So I hope you absolutely love this design because I really think it turned out very well. Like I said, I got this black and white balloon kit from Temu. I was really just kind of enamored by it and I wanted to try it. Of course, it didn't come with enough balloons to get this massive arch done, but it did, you know, it helped out. So these white balloons are from that kit. All of the black balloons, almost all of the black balloons that you see are from that kit. But I had to fill in, of course, with my own stash of black balloons that I had used from a previous arch. And then, of course, we have some stars and things like that. Just some extra bling that I threw in for interest, visual interest. We've got a disco ball here and another one there. And just a lot of fun pieces, right? So it all seems to work. I hope that you guys learned a lot from this video. I will do other videos in terms of how to do a nice beefy garland like this. I don't like weak tiny garlands. I like garlands with presence. So I hope that this definitely pops. Oh, and the last thing, I did find some Bobo balloons that I had in my little stash. Not many, but at least 3 that I featured here. So 1, 2, and 3. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed everything that was shown in this video today. So please subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so that every time I go live like this, you are notified. And please like this video. If the content helped you in any way, shape, or form, I want to know. So please help my channel out by liking that video, subscribing to my channel, and hitting that bell. Have a great day.